So I'm pretty sure I made this point before that this season is an absolute joke, that I'm really getting sick and tired of it. Yeah, we had that win streak that got us into third place into the division, but now we're still out of the playoff spot. I don't know how many points we're back now. I haven't been able to check, but we lost again to the Sens. And, we lost to the Sens, I shouldn't say again. But got shut out, had very little effort, and I'm just really sick of this. I just don't understand. And I know I've made this point before, and maybe some of you agree, maybe some of you don't, but I don't believe that Patches is a leader. I know it's all been said from other videos and other messages or whatever it is that he was voted by his peers or his fellow teammates, but let's try and think of who was on the roster then compared to now. All I can really think of is a handful of players that are still on the roster to this date that were on the start of the roster at the 2015-2016 season, because obviously they had the year before, 2014-2015, they went all alternates. So let's try and think of all the players, and feel free to agree, disagree, feel free to put in whatever names you want. If I left anybody out, by all means, go right ahead. Plekanec, Gallagher come to mind. On the defense, Petrie. And I'm kind of struggling to think of who else we had at that time that we still have now, because we got rid of a lot of players, traded a lot of people, or lost people in free agency or whatever the case may be. So those are the top three names that come to my mind, because other than that, they have nobody on defense that was on that team. And I'm not talking about AHL players that called up every now and again, because you can name a bunch of them. But I'm talking about full-time, actual on the roster. They're not going to get demoted. They're actually there. And those are the top three people that come to my mind. Again, feel free to comment, say whoever else, but I guarantee you, if they had a redo right now, he would not be the leader. It should. At this point, you could have so many different options. Maybe just strip Patch ready out of the sea and just float the rest of the season, and then start all over again at the start of the 2018-2019 season, because he's not a leader. He has a monotone, win or lose. For example, if the team loses, well, we had an if they lose, well, we should have played better. We have standards here in Montreal, and we should have executed better, and our players should know better. If they win, well, we had a great game. It's expected to play like this, blah, 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 blah. The exact same tone. He does not care. He does not care at all. So trade him. And if you disagree, feel free to tell me why. I really want to hear this, because to me, a leader is someone that shows emotion, that shows character, and he doesn't show either one of those things. And you could name a bunch of other players that should have it, like Gallagher, because he is a hardworking guy, and he's a two-way player because he plays on the power play and he helps on the penalty kill. And he goes to the net. He would be a very good leader, a good captain, if that ever were to be the case. And he's Canadian. I can't remember the last time the Canadians had a Canadian captain. Isn't that ironic? Or I know everyone's saying, oh, Weber, he deserves to see because he had the captaincy in Nashville, and he can take over the room just like that. I mean, he does have leadership skills. Whether or not he deserves a C or not, that's another question. And maybe there's other players that come to mind. I can't think of anyone at the top of my mind, because I'm just so frustrated with this season. It's a complete write-off. I'm telling you right now, we're not making the playoffs. And I'm going to stick to my guns. I'm going to stick to my word. Get rid of Bergevin. He's a cancer. He hasn't done anything right since he was there. He treated Subban like crap. He gave him a wimpy 1 or 2 year contract, and then he gave him a great big contract, and then he ends up trading him away. What a joke. Because Subban definitely could have been the next captain. A lot of people were saying that. So, yeah, that's my rant for today.